All right, you reach a point in which you finally want to find a quality woman. You've done the casual dating, you've done the hookups, you've done the one night stands, and overall you find it less fulfilling and you kind of want something real. Well, let me tell you, I'm not here to judge you because I've been there. I used to be a certified fuckboy. I used to go out on dates every single day. I've been with more women than most men have been with in 3 to 4 lifetimes. But eventually you want to find something real, something more fulfilling. Maybe you even want to have kids. Now, in order to do this, you must find a quality woman, because what I don't want you to do is to give a woman a chance, whoever's in your face, and then 5-10 years later, you're paying alimony, you're paying child support, etc., because you made the wrong choice. So within this video, I'm gonna teach you how to find a quality woman, what to look for, and some of the shifts that you need to make if you actually want to find somebody who you can take more serious. Now, the first thing we have to understand is that good women aren't everywhere. I know you heard the times in which, oh, you have to go to church, or you have to go to a yoga session, or you have to go to a happy hour bar in order to find a good woman. It's not the case whatsoever. You can find a good woman everywhere. Even me, myself, I have found a good woman. I found her 5 years ago and she is still in my life today. Best woman I've ever met. And guess where I found her? I found her on Hinge with online dating. And it always blows my mind when guys say, oh, there's nothing but low quality women on dating apps or bad women. I'm like, I'm not sure which version you're seeing or how you're presenting yourself. But in my reality, I met plenty of good women everywhere I've ever met women. But guess what? On the vice versa, there are bad women everywhere too. So you go to church thinking you're gonna find a good woman, and guess what? She's gonna be the worst one you ever met. You go to that happy hour thinking you found a good woman, or the grocery store, or the coffee shop, and guess what? She's the worst woman you've ever met. Listen, good women are everywhere, bad women are everywhere. It depends more so how you present yourself, because attraction isn't about what you want, it's about how women perceive you to be. And so if you want to attract good women, you have to look like a decent man. For example, I made this analogy on my reels recently, and we all see how women post bikini pictures and like sitting on the sink. And the funny part is they do that expecting a high quality man to take them seriously, versus the guys who want a good woman. I take a look at their pictures, I take a look at their Instagram, I take a look at how they carry themselves, and they expect a good woman to also want to take them seriously. It's not the case whatsoever. And so, one, understand that good women are everywhere, but also ensure that you look the part in which you can attract a good woman into your life. Now, not only that, but we have to understand the first rule in order to find a good woman is that you have to start prioritizing behavior over looks. I'll say it again. The first rule to finding a good woman is that you have to prioritize behavior over looks. That's not to say that we don't want a woman that we're attracted to, because attraction always comes first, but just do understand that your future wife or the future mother of your kids likely won't be that 9 out of 10, likely won't be that IG level type of baddie. And so the reason why I say this is because I met plenty of guys in which I look at their dating history and it's nothing but baddies, it's nothing but really attractive women, but there's a reason why those women are into your life right now, and it's because of how they act. Women who are more attractive tend to be less wifey material, quote unquote. They tend to be more into themselves. They tend to be into more making money, into their career. They tend to be more selfish. They tend to be less respectful towards men. And so, unfortunately, the traits that align with what would make a good mother aren't usually aligned to a woman who is very, very, very attractive. Now, keep in mind, my woman is attractive. I think she's a solid woman. She's a natural body, nice face. So I'm not saying that my woman is unattractive or you're gonna find an unattractive woman, but she needs to be cute or just good looking enough to where it's not a problem, or to where she doesn't exploit her attractiveness for money or anything else like that. Because once again, attractive women, really attractive women, overall tend to have bad character. That's because of the validation they get through their looks and their overall sexuality. Now, there's two polarities on both ends. You can find great women who are also very attractive, but the likelihood of you finding that is just very, very low. So instead, what I want you to do is prioritize how she treats you, her character, her personality before her looks. The looks will still bring her into us, but what we're really looking for in terms of this vetting process that we're going to get into is more so her behavior. Next thing I want you to do is list your non-negotiables, because you have to know exactly what you want. What is a non-negotiable? A non-negotiable is something that is a red flag that you're not willing to make any exceptions for. So most men non-negotiables might be like a body count number, right? Hypothetically, let's say 10 to 15 body count number. Like, I can't take her seriously. Okay, so that's one of your non-negotiables. But what else? Does she work out? Does she take care of herself? Or do you not mind a woman who naturally has a good body but never goes to the gym? Personally, I've learned that a non-negotiable for me is that she has to work out and she has to take care of herself. So that's number 2 for me. Number 3 might be she has to obviously look decent without makeup. I've met plenty of women who are these baddies with makeup, but take it off and they're just average women. So for me, I have to be attracted to her without makeup. So going down that list, I need you to make about 5 to 10 non-negotiables for you. These are traits and characteristics from a physical but also behavioral standpoint of what your ideal woman would be. Now, once we have our non-negotiables, this is where the real system comes into play, and that is we absolutely have to run volume. I literally just watched this video about how Mr. Beast, the guy with the huge YouTube channel, he went on 38 dates to find his now future fiance. And he talked about how he just met so many women who were incompatible. Then I look at my history, I had to go on about 85 to 90 days before I met the woman who I'm seeing right now. And so that's a lot of volume, right? And that goes to show that about 80 to 90% of the women you meet, you will not be compatible with. You will not be attracted to, or maybe they're not attracted to you, or they're not compatible with you in some way or regard. Maybe they're disrespectful. Maybe they flake on you one too many times. Point is, expect about 10, even 5 to 15% of the women you meet, you might have some type of compatibility with. What does that mean? That means we have to go out on a lot of dates. That's why I always say is like, if you're expecting to find a high quality woman, but you're going out on like 1 date a month, then obviously there's a flaw in the system. Or you have no system, you have no strategy. You're just kind of throwing shit at the wall. And that's exactly why I created the Romeo Effect, guys. Now, the Romeo Effect is my plug and play online dating system in which I help you craft that volume through a system that positions you as that top 10% so that you have more high quality, attractive, and good women coming through your system who you can actually go out on dates with. This is the same system that I've used to find the woman I've been seeing now for 5 years. This is the same system tons of my clients have used to not only date, meet, and attract more women, but also find positive, fulfilling relationships if that is something that they want. But the truth is, if they didn't have the volume in the first place, they never would have gotten the result that they wanted. And so if you're interested in learning exactly how the system works, I created a free presentation going over exactly how the Romeo Effect can essentially change your dating life for the absolute better. And if you click down below in the description, I'll walk you through exactly how the full process works. So check it out. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that whenever you're meeting a woman, you have to undergo the mindset of allowing her to prove herself to you. You never want to go with, oh, I'm trying to prove myself to her, or I want to show her why I'm such a great guy. That's not the case whatsoever. The best relationship dynamics that work long-term are the ones in which she is in her feminine and you are in your masculine. You are leading, she is following. But not only that, because she is dating up, likely due to hypergamy, meaning that she sees you as her best option, she should instinctively want to prove herself to you as to why she deserves that title. Now, the reason why this is so important is because you will come across women who simply just see you as a casual option. And then here you are trying to prove yourself as to why you're a great boyfriend, a great husband, and you don't understand that that lowers attraction in itself. And so a woman has to go out her way to show her loyalty to you, to show you why she is girlfriend material. This goes down to doing acts of service, then also seeing how her character really is. If a woman says, oh, I need a ring, or I need this or that before you get girlfriend treatment, she's immediately disqualified, right? Because she's not proving herself to us. The woman who's been in my life, the reason why she is here today is because she proved herself to me as to why she deserved that title. She separated herself from every other girl I've ever met. She helped my life out. She brought value. She cooked for me. She cleaned for me. She showed me why she is the best option. And so allow the woman to prove herself to you. You don't want to force anything. So if you're like been dating her for 3-4 months and all she does is show up and look pretty when she comes to the date, she has provided no value to your life, then mentally I need you to take note of that and realize that this woman is simply disqualified. And that's the hardest part about this process, is that you have to understand how many women you have to walk away from, especially if you're a guy who's done a lot of casual flings and encounters in the past, and in which you really don't care how they act or what value they provide to your life. As long as they're hot and show up, we're all good. But when we're actually implementing a long-term dating strategy, one in which we're trying to find a really good woman, we can no longer operate in that mindset. She has to show us why she deserves to be in our life still, especially over the course of 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Now, speaking of 6 months, the vetting process needs to be at a minimum 6 months long. at a minimum. I would say ideally a year. However, I do understand that may be unrealistic for some people. So at the minimum 6 months, you need to be seeing her. This is where you're testing her throughout all types of things. You're testing her character, you're testing her behavior, you're seeing how she is when she's angry, you're traveling with her, you're seeing how reciprocal she is, you're seeing how she is with her family, you're seeing her relationship with her dad, you're seeing if she's catering, nurturing, if she provides value, etc., etc. You need to take mental note of this. In fact, I don't even care if you take physical note of it. Create a literal note of good things she's been doing over the past 4 to 6 months, and also the bad things. And once again, if that falls in line with your non-negotiables, she is simply disqualified. As simple as that. Now, I think the benefit of my life and my experience is that since I've actually have found a good woman, I can speak from what it's like to actually keep one, versus a lot of dating coaches, I'm gonna be real with you, they're just sleeping with a lot of girls. And yes, it's fun. And as an ex-fuckboy, as I mentioned in the intro, I enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I still do. But I do understand that if I want to have a family, if I want to actually train my brain to not be so dopamine seeking, because when you think about it, casual encounters and casual sex, that's just your brain being addicted to new women constantly. And yes, it's a void that temporarily gets filled, but it's never fulfilling in the long term. And so that's why, as a guy who's just turned 30 myself, or maybe you're an older guy watching this and you see yourself finally taking that step to finding somebody serious, you need to take this video very, very seriously. And if you want my personal help to implement all of this, if you want more volume updates, if you want to actually become the man who is worthy of attracting that type of woman who you know that you deserve, then click the link down below. I'm gonna show you exactly how the Romeo effect works in full. I'm gonna work relentlessly to help make this a reality. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.